Hello friends, Eli Hibbett here with the Pwn Your Homework Physics Series podcast. If you're looking to prepare, review, or gain an added edge or point of view about topics in physics, then look no further. Tune in each week to unlock your understanding of the physical world surrounding us. And now let's dive right in.
Hey, how is everybody feeling today? I am your host, Eli Hibbett, back at you again with another episode of the Pwn Your Homework Physics Series podcast. And this week's edition is entitled Episode 68, 7-Question Physics Brush-Up Pop Quiz. Dug into it a little bit last week, but things are going well. 15th of September, 2015, Tuesday, Long Island, New York. Let's check the old Apple Watch for the moon phase, courtesy of the moon phase app. We have a new moon at 1% illumination. Very cool. So, en route to the full moon. Well, the first quarter and then full moon coming soon. But right now we're a new moon in the sky tonight. And it's very gorgeous weather. We're in the fall. And clear skies. So I'll be able to check out that new moon in all of its glory coming up soon. But that's what's going on up in the sky. But here on Earth, it's the top of the semester. And so I thought I would give you a little pop quiz to see if you are up and at 'em in terms of the fundamentals, if you're ready to go, before the physics semester totally takes your brain over. So here we go. So the idea here was I'm going to throw out the 7 questions, kind of think about them a little bit, and then we will roll through the answers. And hopefully you'll be able to nail all 7. Especially listeners of this podcast should be able to do relatively well. So here we go. 7-question pop quiz. Number 1. What is the derivative of cosine of x? Question number 2. What is 45 degrees in radians? Question number 3. Do you remember what the cosine of 45 degrees is? Question number 4. Can you convert kilometers to miles? And if so, well, how just kind of think about how you might do that one. I don't need an exact answer. It's a pop quiz. Question number 5. Which 2 sides of a right triangle are used to calculate a tangent? Question number 6. Is displacement a vector or a scalar? Question number 7. An object is launched into the air at an angle of 60 degrees with respect to the horizontal. What are the velocities in the x and y directions? Okay, so those are the 7 questions, and you should have been able to answer them just like that, right off the top of your head, if you are truly in the zone. If you go to the blog, pwnyouRhw.blogspot.com, I have a little answer alert and kind of gives you some space if you don't want to see the answers. And, as we're going through here, if you don't want the answers, you can stop right here. But let's press forward now, and let's see the answer. So question number 1, derivative of cosine of x. Answer, of course, minus sine of x. We haven't quite covered it here yet, but, derivatives of trig functions are essential for doing well in physics, Calc 1 for sure, and, calculus-based physics. And we are going to be coming up on the calc stuff right after we finish dot and cross product. So that's the answer to the first one. Derivative of cosine is minus sine. Question number 2. What is 45 degrees converted to radians? Answer is pi over 4. We can calculate this by using our conversion factor, pi over 180, multiplied by 45 degrees. Degrees cancel out, and we have pi over 4. Question number 3. Do you remember the cosine of 45 degrees? The answer is square root of 2 over 2. We can remember this by going through, cosine. We start at 4, 3, 2, 1. And square root of x over 2. So for cosine of 0, we start with 4. Cosine of square root of 4 over 2 is 1. Cosine of 30 degrees, this is square root of 3 over 2. And cosine of 40 degrees is square root of 2 over 2. So there we go. If you want a little taste, go back and check out episode number 24, Sines and Cosines by Counting to 4. That's a really good brush up there. So check that one out. Question number 4. Can you convert kilometers to miles? 1 kilometer is equal to 0.621 miles. So the idea of this question, it's a pop quiz, not really asking you to do hard calculations, but the idea was, can you think of what you might do to convert that outside of asking Google or Siri? And so a mile is equal to 1.6 kilometers. And so if we take 1 kilometer times 1 mile divided by 1.6 kilometers, we get our answer of 0.621 miles. So the idea was kind of think about how you might approach it and, set up your conversion factor and do that calculation relatively easily. And knowing that there's 1.6 kilometers in a mile is actually a pretty good one to have in the arsenal. So that is question number 4. Question number 5. Which two sides of a right triangle are used to calculate tangent? Recalling SOHCAHTOA, we can use TOA, T-O-A, or tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent to answer this question. So the answer is opposite and adjacent. In that order, no less. Question number 6, is displacement a vector or a scalar? Of course, displacement is a vector quantity. It includes the direction, while distance is a scalar. It does not include direction. So distance is a scalar and displacement is a vector. And finally, question number 7. An object is launched into the air at an angle of 60 degrees with respect to the horizontal. What are the velocities in the x and y directions? So this question is getting at breaking our velocity into components. We're not really given a velocity in this problem, so we can kind of use just a generic velocity v and say v of x is equal to v times cosine of 60, or v over 2, and the velocity in the y direction is equal to v times the sine of 60, or v times the square root of 3 over 2, which comes very quickly if you know your sines and cosines from question number 3. So how did you do? This is a 7-question quiz. Each question here was taken, I took one question that I think you should know if you've gone through each app in my new Physics Brushup app bundle. Calculus, radians versus degrees, sine versus cosine, unit conversion, SOHCAHTOA, vector versus scalar, and vector components. If you were shaky on more than one question, you may want to consider grabbing it. You're going to definitely thank yourself later and on that first test when you're able to kind of blow through those quick back-of-the-envelope type calculations. It's available on the App Store and, of course, on the blog, PWNYOURHW.blogspot.com for a quick link. But, yeah. And, if you're only you shaky on one of those 7 topics, I would certainly, just grab one app, no problem. So, but I really think, those 7 topics, if you can master those, it's really going to put you in a really good position for this semester. So I thought I'd throw a little pop quiz out there just to kind of, last week we kind of talked about it a little bit and gave a little bit of a recommendation, but this, a test really helps you to understand exactly where you stand, which is the point of all the tests in your physics course. They're not just for giving you terrible grades, but when you go through the test, you say, oh, I thought I was comfortable with that, but I guess I wasn't. So, not too bad. So hopefully you did well. And if not, grab the apps. If you're good, then you're good. No question there, no problem. So I will be at you next week with a little more action. But until then, I think that's going to do it. So next week, guys. Until then, stay frosty, stay in the zone, and I'll catch you next time, guys. Take care.